Good morning, thank you very much. As I said, I'm Loretta King. I'm the Marketing and Communications Director at Alert Technology, and I'm here to talk to you about our Alert device. So many may think that asbestos is a problem of yesterday, but that's far from the case. It's still the leading occupational killer in the world, claiming the lives of over 250,000 people every year and is responsible for 1 in 3 occupational cancers. 50% of companies in the world still actively use asbestos, and the remaining 50% are dealing with the legacy of asbestos used over the years. The global healthcare impact is nearly $4 billion every year, and the costs for testing in the UK alone are £250 million, plus the cost incurred from unnecessary site closures. So the existing existing asbestos management technology that we have today does not solve the problem. Currently, there is no way of testing in real time whether airborne asbestos fibres are present or absent. The current procedures can be costly, they are slow, and they can take place off-site. And they also allow for a high risk of human error, both in the detection process and in the analysis afterwards. It's an industry sector that's seen very little innovation, with no new technology developed over the last 20 years, and yet the cost of risk is increasing, with companies such as Marks & Spencer's receiving fines of over £1 million for asbestos exposures in their store during remedial works. So I introduce you to Alert, the world's first real-time airborne asbestos warning system. The first device that is capable of distinguishing asbestos fibres in the air from other non-asbestos fibres in real time. And it does this using a mix of light scattering technology and the paramagnetic properties of asbestos fibres. It does this in real time with 99% accuracy. It was developed initially by the University of Hertfordshire, with whom we work very closely with, and we now have the rights to commercialise this exclusively within the field of asbestos globally. We've just had an EU patent granted for 10 countries, which will last for 20 years. So the global market opportunity for Alert, it is huge, and it is set to change and transform the way the asbestos market deals with real-time detection. It will save time by giving an instant detection, so there's no lengthy waiting for the traditional lab tests. It will reduce costs, as the cost of an alert unit is considerably less than closing a site for a day when asbestos is suspected. Obviously, it will improve safety because it will give more accurate, real-time monitoring, reducing the risk of exposure to workers and to the public, and ultimately with the goal of saving lives. Reducing prolonged exposure reduces the risk of contracting illnesses such as mesothelioma and other lung and asbestos-related cancers. No new legislation is required because companies already have the duty to manage asbestos using the most effective controls and the best technology available, and that will now be Alert. It's relevant to over 30 different market sectors globally, but we will focus initially on those who have demonstrated the greatest demand, have the most immediate need, and with whom we have the best contacts. So that will be the construction industry, including demolition, facilities management, technical testing and analytical services, and of course the asbestos abatement industry sector.